Hello everybody, this is Snarist yet again, and I'm back with my God of War 3 Chaos Mode walkthrough. This is part 13, Garden of the Gods, and I decided to call it that because I think the Olympus Gardens is kind of lame sounding. This sounds way better. Although technically Garden of the Gods is a location in God of War 2, when you go to the Palace of the Fates, or I suppose the Temple of the Fates, and it's a neat little section, a small garden dedicated to honour the gods of Olympus. So this is Hephaestus giving us a Nemesis whip, unfortunately in his attempt to try and kill us, but we break out of it and we've got ourselves a new weapon. By the way, his ring here, it gets flung off and goes to the left, you see. We're going to pick it up, but it's something you can go and collect, and it'll be another godly possession. Yeah, as I'm doing these commentaries, I think this is probably the last one I'll do for the night. Not that it'll matter to you guys. And I'm thinking more and more about the state of these commentaries, and I got a bit of a jump scare while I was doing some editing and stuff, and I noticed that my PC's cloud storage, even though it's a really, it's got a lot of space, when I export these videos and, oh, by the way, I'm just spamming magic here because I know I'm going to get it all back in the next section when they teach you about the Nemesis Whip's magic, which is the Nemesis Rage, and you'll get it all back, so I'm just spamming it now just to get it over and done with, because even when using this weapon it can be a little tricky to deal with that many enemies on a small platform. And because it takes so much space exporting all these videos in such high quality, what it all does is take up so much space, and at the time of recording this, which you guys are not going to see this video for like another month or so, but yeah, I've already taken up a third of my space. Now luckily I did have a hard drive that I was going to originally use to transport PlayStation footage over to my PC, but it turned out not to be all that reliable, and I can just as easily record straight through OBS and get it. And I noticed as well through some of the edits that yes, the footage is still delayed with the audio, and it's a little bit more recognizable in this video than most of the other games I play, which is unfortunate, but the commentary is the most important thing, and there's just way too many problems with OBS in regards to the PlayStation that I'm not bothering with it anymore. So even though I can definitely upload and just download everything and copy it onto this hard drive, and I've got a lot of space for a lot of the future to come, I also understand that if Mavavi ever has an update, like it has recently, a lot of the videos I've already recorded, like I know I'm going to have this problem with Eternites, unless I can source my original footage that was unedited, it won't present the full video with the edits and the updates. So to be honest, if that does end up happening, and I'm recording in the future, and these updates happen, if for some reason I lose all my footage, and all my old footage, and my old walkthroughs, something happens to them on YouTube for whatever reason, if they get deleted or removed or blocked or something, then unfortunately, there's not really anywhere else for it to go. And that's why it'll probably be put into action before this commentary even makes it onto YouTube, but I've got a couple of different options for as far as the content goes, because giving it to everybody for free is the most important thing to me, but I think Rumble is pretty safe right now. Rumble is about the only other alternative to YouTube that you can do that's reliable, but it's just so overlooked and undervalued that I don't think it'll ever compete with YouTube. YouTube is just way too big, even though I'd argue that despite not being as fast, Rumble is still a better platform, because while it's not necessarily anti-censorship, it's a lot safer than it is on YouTube and, say, Patreon, because I know a lot of YouTube creators tend to go to Patreon, and I always find it rather funny that they tend to... By the way, this is a whole big section of just red orb chests you can find and item chests. With that one there, you want to fly through the mirror directly below me, and when you come out of the mirror on the other side, just keep double jumping and you'll get the most height out of it, and then fly around and keep as far to the wall as you can, and you'll be able to slink your way around and get up to that platform. And I find a lot of creators using Patreon as like a way to make money, and it works, but Patreon has been so pro-censorship and just the weirdest things you can do that even a lot of, well, not that they don't deserve it, but a lot of people that create NSFW content, like ASMR roleplays that are a bit spicy, or you get people that are uploading like AI, like constant AI slop, like pornographic images, you get all this stuff happening, and they definitely don't deserve a lot of what they get. But I mean, I don't blame Patreon for it, but at the same time, it's hard to distinguish, because they say it's like, oh, is your content suitable for 18 plus? It's like, well, you still need to have like a card to be able to sign up for memberships and make these purchases and all that. So doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of, you know, whether your content is kid friendly or not, because you're inherently using money in monetization? That's why I thought, if I ever do anything like that, I might go with Subscribestar instead, because, well, not only does most of the money go to the creator instead of the actual platform itself, but at the same time, I just find Subscribestar to be a lot more honest, and, you know, you're less likely to get banned for anything because they go through the trouble of creating two different subsets of the site. You've got the main site, which has all the other content creators and everything like that, and they've got an adult site. So you can differentiate them, and so there's less sort of problems regarding censorship. There's less problems regarding what's appropriate and what's not. By the way, just follow along with everything I'm doing right here with this whole room. This is where you're going to find a lot of your orbs, and you're going to get a lot of your upgrades, and I'm going to use it to upgrade the Nemesis to the max, and then I'm going to start working on the Nemesis whip, and there is a reason for that. But I'm kind of in a ramble mode right now, but yeah, I've tried to use Patreon before, and there's just got so many problems with them that I don't care for them anymore. And I've also found that because I have such low expectations of the success that my channel can make, and I don't care about money so much, but I also understand that having a little bit made extra from memberships and people giving the occasional charity, it definitely helps and definitely makes me feel a lot better. But regardless of money, I'm still going to be doing this because I genuinely enjoy playing games, even games I've already played before a million times, and I'd love to share it with you guys, and just love to share you all the strategies and ways I've conquered games. You can see how I deal with them and what it all means to me, and I want to keep on doing it. You know, as much as I can. I don't want to stop, you know, no matter how long it takes. And I'm not expecting like 100,000 subs or 200,000 subs or even 1 million, of course not. I'd just be fine with 10,000, honestly, because I know I'd at least have hundreds of people that consistently watch these videos. That'd be nice. But yeah, I'll just put a pin in that for now, because this whole talk's getting me a little bit depressed with all of it. I mean, just why can't platforms just appreciate the creativity of people and just leave it at that? They'd make way more money and generate way more interest, but you got to keep those investors happy, don't you? You don't want them to be associated with some of the weirdness you see on the internet. So you just saw me upgrade the Satyrs to the max level then. It does so much damage now, and the Nemesis whip is going to be very effective now, mostly for Nemesis rage with its magic, and there's going to be a reason why I use it, and that'll be told about in the next part. Now, the reason why I included the garden here, as well as the previous section with what I assume was Daedalus' workshop or his office, is because there's one tough fight in this garden against a couple of satyrs. They're going to be introduced for the first time in this game, and there's a couple of secrets here and there. And it's also a quick way for you to remember the puzzle if you forgot about it and what you have to do. So in the section here, you're going to see pretty clearly, even if you just use a square attack or just spam triangle, you can get through these enemies pretty quickly now. There's lots of chests hidden all over the place, stardust just around the corners, everywhere. And so you want to go back through here and you'll automatically pick up a godly position, which is, I believe it's Hera's Chalice, but it's also got a key item in it that helps you kind of slow down time. And I think the reason why I keep this part in here is because it's a godly position, but there's a lot of, not really cutscenes, but there's a lot of just like long drawn out sequences in this area, and that's why I don't really like it that much. But you'll see here now truly how effective level 5 Nemean Cestus is, because I keep spamming triangle and it's strong enough to keep on wearing down all his armor to get him down low enough where I can actually kill him properly. I don't even bother getting the grab, I just kill him as he is. Now, I encountered a bit of a bug here. So if you notice that my health isn't full, and I'm going to wait for my health to get full back up again, because I know there's a health chest somewhere here just on its own, so this is a bit of a waste. But look, my health doesn't go up. It is still up, but I don't know why this is bugged out the way that it is. So some enemies around the corner here, don't get caught off guard by them, just rush them and just spam triangle, keep them in the air, keep wailing on them, and you'll do just fine. You'll wipe them out very quickly. And this is the section coming up that I'm talking about. You're going to fight 2 satyrs in a very narrow corridor. Now, if you push up far enough, you'll activate both of them, and both of them will try to jump you. You need to take your time, and as soon as you come in here, they'll be in here. And I found a foolproof strategy that anyone can use. It's very easy. There's one satyr around the corner, but there's one here. Run back into the corner here and hold block. You'll be able to... He'll jump against the wall, or he'll attack you, and then he'll jump against the wall and try to bounce off. If he bounces off the wall and grabs you, that's unfortunate, but luckily it doesn't do that much damage. Now he did, but it doesn't do that much damage. My health corrected itself, and I only lose like maybe 1/10 of my health. So all you do is just get in the corner, block, so he jumps off the wall. Okay, he attacked that time, and I just grab him. So all you have to do is just stand against this corner, and just keep doing that. Wait for him to attack, make the first move, whether it's a grab or an attack. Just wait for him to do it, and then just keep grabbing and spamming circle. Now with this, the second satyr, you can rush him, and as long as you get him against the wall, you can just keep doing this, and when he tries to jump against the wall to get above you and get over you, you can grab him off of it. And one of the hardest fights I ever used to have when doing Chaos walkthroughs, that I used to get stuck for like 45 minutes to an hour on, it's done in just a couple of minutes. It's kind of ridiculous, because that second satyr is completely pacified until you charge him further up, so you need to stay back as far away as you can, manipulate the camera, and just wait for them. So there's a couple of hidden chests around here, and then eventually you'll be moving back into the middle, and you'll put to good use that little time stone thing you found off Hera's chalice to start doing this puzzle, and then you'll eventually run into her again, you'll snap her neck, and because of that, disease will set in properly in the garden. You'll get a bramble thing you got to burn, and then you can start moving forward. So I believe this is the last Gorgonite sacrifice you need to make, and so now your health's all full up. We've already got our magic all full up, and we've just got the items left to go, and in this garden you will get that. So pretty much every chest that should have an item we get from now on will have about 1,000 red orbs, and that's going to pay dividends. So you just stand on that. I skipped the little cutscene. You just need to move to this gate here, kick it down with R1, jump over it, go up these stairs, and because it's one of those sort of angled illusions, you'll be able to go up here. And so when you do, just go through here, go through the gate. There's a couple of chests as you jump down this little section here. Don't miss those. Or it might only be one. Yeah, it's only one. So if you happen to need a little bit of extra health, just grab this woman here and stab her and execute her. But you just come through here and you'll get your last Minotaur horn and your last item bar upgrade. So now every chest that looks like this one, it's kind of got that olive look to it. It'll contain red orbs, and a lot of them. So when you go in here and you grab this stone statue, you need to move it into the corner here and spin it around. Now, I once had a bug where I put it right there and I tried to turn it around, and what ended up happening, yeah, like that. I don't know what happened there, but I had to leave it in because I couldn't actually get it to move. It was just stuck like that. That's another bug in this game. It's so weird. And I think I cut it out a little bit further on. Yeah, I had to leave it in there as a blooper, just as a bit of a fun thing. But luckily you start back here. So yeah, you just need to turn the stairs, or this pillar, or whatever it is, and you need to throw it into there, so that the water can run off of there and into the pot. The gate will open up, you go down, Hera will get killed as Kratos snaps her neck, you burn the bramble, you move that pillar off to the left, put some more water in there, and you've also got her body that you can interact with as well, as some way to trigger a pressure plate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take her and I'm just going to leave her on top of there so that this sort of illusionary state remains constant. So that way I can get to work. So I apologise if the angle's a little bit weird and it's hard to tell what I'm doing, but I'm going back to this pillar, I'm picking it up, and I'm going to spin it around because the illusion allows the water to flow down here, and when it does, I can just ram it straight in. It's one more part to the puzzle down. And I suppose while there's a bit of a quiet moment here, I should mention that in the next part we'll be going back down to the caverns. We'll encounter the scorpion enemies for the first time, which is super annoying. And it's surprisingly not a very long part, but then the part after that will be the scorpion boss fight, and I'll have a fair bit to say about that. because even though I've definitely had tougher encounters with the Cerberus breeder boss, and I'd argue that's still the worst, the Scorpion boss, even though it's not the hardest boss fight in this game, it's probably the second hardest, and it is fundamentally the most broken. It's not a fun fight at all, and you'll see why. Like, I'm sure you've already fought him before, having played this game, since you can unlock Chaos by playing any other difficulty. You know, you've got experience with the Scorpion boss, but you don't know how dangerous it is until you've truly tried it on Chaos. So yeah, just move the pillar back down through here, and turn it to the right angle so you can turn it into stairs. Then you take Hera's body off the pressure plate, you stick it into this pot here, and then you need to hop down and grab the pillar again, and this time you've got to move it onto the pressure plate so that the illusion can completely stay on without turning off. And when that happens, you'll be able to wander up these stairs, and you'll be able to go across the platforms very easily. And I forgot to mention before, but before I went into Daedalus's office or workshop or whatever it is, I had the Nemesis whip equipped, and I was dashing, and you could see how fast it was. And besides the Icarus wings, you know, dashing through the air, it's still the fastest way of dealing with it. Look how fast that is. It's so long, and it's so fast. Anyway, that's the end of this chapter. I'll see you in the next one.